What's up, We Still Do fam?
It's your favorite couple back again with another episode of your favorite podcast.
We still do.
The claps was late.
So, before we get into this week's episode, we're going to get caught up on what's been going on with us.
Let's get caught up.
So this happened.
So this happened. So this happened. So this happened.
Well, what happened?
All right, y'all. So here's what happened. School started, and my wife has had to take her sitting room that was just her peaceful place of worship and turn it into a classroom / office. Now, you guys can't see it. Maybe we'll upload a picture so you guys can see it, but it is officially like a classroom in here. I came home one day and I was just looking in here like, okay, it's a classroom in here. But she made it to where the kids can sit and do their work, and she can be at her little area, and she can work doing her work. So,
yeah, because what the problem was that I had to be at my desk working, but then I had to constantly be going back and forth if they had questions on their work, or just to check up on them to make sure they were doing their work, and just
because they were in the kitchen.
Because they were in the kitchen. So it was a lot of back and forth. And I was like, you know what, you guys are going to set up right in here with mommy, and we're going to get through this together. And yeah, it's been cool. They only did it just last week was their first week in here with me. So at first they was kind of like, we got to be in here with you. But by the end of the week, I think they were cool. Denzel was the one mainly that, you know, he would always be running up to me. So he kind of sits right next to me. And then, you know, I'm able to do my work, but still checking on him. So that's what's been going on with us, you guys, is homeschooling / distance learning / working from home. Quarantine.
And I've been at work avoiding it all. So with that being said, let's get into this week's episode. I dodged another bullet. Let's get into this week's episode. Hold up. If you're new to this page, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with any new content that we post. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that bell so you can get those notifications as well. Now back to the show. All right, y'all. I'm Lee today. This week we are talking about control issues. Control. So we're going to talk about control. Do you have control issues? Are you a control freak? Do you have to be in control?
Why are you looking at me?
I'm asking you.
Oh, these are serious questions that you're asking me?
Do you have to be in control? Are you a control freak?
You know I have control issues.
I know. That's why I looked at you. I didn't look at myself. I'm looking at you.
I do have control issues, and I actually chose this topic for today because I know that like control is something that I always have to like be aware of and kind of, you know, have it in the forefront of my mind to make sure that I don't become too controlling, because I do like things a certain way, and I like to feel like everything is flowing smoothly, and sometimes it can come off as being controlling.
Sometimes it can come off as.
Sometimes it can come off as being controlling.
Every time it can come off as being controlling.
Really?
See, now you're being controlling right now.
No,
with that little look. That little look right there, you just was being controlling. I'm scared.
I was controlling you with my eyes?
Yeah.
Oh, please. But yeah, the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic this week is because I was actually, like, with you being gone a lot, Deontay's been out of town for like almost basically the whole month. He's been coming home on the weekends, but he's been working out of town like during the week. And I was just kind of like thinking about like how much you've been gone and how I've been like overwhelmed with the kids but not like worried about you being gone. Does that make sense?
No.
Like,
Elaborate on that.
okay, so you know how like before, like even like if you would work late, or like you would, I would be like on you, like calling you, like, where are you? Why aren't you home yet? Why didn't you tell me you were working late? Like, like really be on you, like controlling.
Yeah.
Like that was, to me, that was like a form of controlling. And with you being gone during the week, it's like, okay, I'll talk to him when I get a chance, or like whatever. I haven't been feeling like I need to know everything that you're doing every moment throughout the day like I used to, like when we first got married.
Yeah.
And I was kind of looking back on that, and I was tripping out, and I was just like, I was kind of proud of myself, because I really saw the growth and like where I was before. Because like when we were in it, I didn't feel like, at the time, I didn't feel like I was being controlling. I'm just like, like I was just kind of like checking in on you. But as I was reflecting like the other day, I'm like, you know what? No, I was being in control, or I was trying to be in control. But I think that what the root of it was there was a lack of trust. And so because I didn't trust you, it was like, well, I need to know every single thing that he's doing throughout the whole day. Kind of trying to like micromanage, and really trying to put it on you, but it was really something that I needed to deal with myself. And I just randomly, I was thinking about that the other day, like when you were gone, and I was just like, wow, like I don't feel that anymore, and I haven't felt that in a long time. So it was just cool to like look back on that and be like, oh, that's it's good not to feel that way. But not to say that I don't still have control issues, because I do. But I feel like looking back on it, I feel like I'm so much better with it now, because we built such a good bond of like trust between one another.
When you mention that, this is how I know too that you gotten better with it, because you still will show some of that control. But like while I'm out of town, you'll be like, so what time are you gonna be done? I'm like,
well, that's because I want you to come home.
Yeah, but I'll say like, I don't know what time I'm gonna be done. Like I can't give you an exact time when I'm gonna be done, and you'll take that as an answer and not be like, well, what's it, because before you'd be like, well, what time do you think you're gonna be done? Like around what time? Like you got to know. And now I just be like, I mean, I really don't know what time I'll be done. And you could just take that like, okay, well, come home as soon as you can, or call me when you're on your way. Something like that.
And that's really because I be wanting a break.
Yeah. Before it was like, it was pretty bad in the beginning of our marriage. Like, you get off, you clock out at 7 o'clock. It takes 15 minutes to get home from work. You need to be here no later than 7:20. Like,
it was bad, guys.
It was bad. I needed to call when I was on my way. Like, ew, man.
But it's because I didn't trust you, Deontay. Because you were always lying.
I did it to myself.
He was always lying, guys.
You ain't got to put that.
It wasn't just.
We ain't talking about lying.
It wasn't just me being crazy.
We ain't talking about lying.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't want people to be thinking like, oh my God, like.
Yeah, I did. That on myself.
It was a lot of things that built up to that. So I was like, okay, you know what? No, this is how long it takes you to get home. Be here.
Yeah,
but
I did do that to myself completely.
But I think that, and that shows growth in both of us. Like, it shows growth and maturity in both of us, that, you were able to, work on your honesty and work on whatever. And it causes me to trust you more, or to just trust you, period. Like, I just trust you. But it's just crazy to think back on stuff like that. Like, now we can laugh about it. Like, that was so dumb.
And what the other thing that you didn't even mention too, for the people that are watching, this is another testament of how much you trust me now, because not only did she mention that I've been out of town, but I'm in hotels. Like, I'm in a hotel by myself, you know, for weeks. So, you know, she can easily be like, remember the first time I went out of town, you was joking, but I think you was low-key serious at the same time. You was like,
What did I say?
you was like, I video called you and was like, show me the room. And, you know, had me going around showing you the room on video call. You remember that?
I was just playing.
I know you was just playing, but that's what I said. Low key, you probably really was serious, but
No, I
like-
wasn't serious. Yeah, it's just crazy to look back and to see how far we've come, and just to
yeah, we're at that point in our marriage where we can look back on all the stuff that borderline got us in trouble with each other, like, you know, where we didn't want to do this anymore, and we can laugh at it. Be like, that was so dumb. Do
Makes
I have
me feel better.
Any issues like that with control? I don't think that I'm really controlling. I mean, the only thing I'm controlling with is there's stuff that I want done a certain way.
yes. And I think that everybody battles with control to a certain extent. I mean, yeah, I feel like everybody has some level of control, whether it's over like a certain area in their life, whether it's over a certain person in their life, whether it's over, you know, whatever. I think that everybody does want a certain level of control in their life, which I feel like is normal and it's okay, but you need to know, like for me, I know when I need to like take a step back and be like, okay, you're trying to, like, you're being too like aggressive, or like you're being too what's the word I'm trying to, like, overbearing, you know, like you're trying to be too much, like you're trying to impose your will too much. And I think that I can be that way more so like with you and the kids. You know, it's because I want our family to live up to a certain expectation, and I want our kids to have, you know, a certain level of integrity and, you know, stuff like that. So sometimes I can be a little bit overbearing with how I want things done. But what I've been trying to do lately, and especially with the kids, because I feel like with the kids, we're coming to this different place in parenting with them. Like, as they're getting older, it's like we have to teach them more stuff now, and we have to, like, we can't shelter them from everything anymore.
Yeah.
And so it's like, as they're being exposed to certain stuff, we have to let them know what the standard is. And we have to show them and be that example for them, and not just be like, this is what you can and cannot do. It's like they have to see it in us. And that's what I've been trying to do more so with the kids, rather than just be like, no, and these are all the rules, but really been trying to like display that, you know, with us, and, you know, how we are with them, and, you know, even how we are with like their cousins and like aunts and uncles and stuff like that, to display that type of integrity and that type of love and family value, or whatever it is, so that they see it, and so that it's not like, I want to control your life, but this is the example that you should follow, type of thing. But it's hard with the kids. They're in a weird, I mean, they're not in a weird place, but they're
generation.
growing up.
Yeah, their generation is different than ours. Obviously, every generation is going to be different.
Yeah.
But theirs is completely different.
It's completely different, and it's just,
Trying to keep up.
it's hard.
It is.
It's hard because they just get exposed to so much stuff, and you can tell sometimes it like just goes over their head, and they don't really know that they're being exposed to certain stuff. But I can tell, like, with our older ones, they know. And they understand like little hidden messages that are like in shows, or, you know, in whatever they're watching, or like even in music and stuff like that. And just have to be,
Got to be mindful.
you have to be mindful. And Yeah, it's tough. Parenting nowadays is tough.
Full-time job.
It's a full time. It's a full time job.
Yeah, there's so much stuff out there that's a field and that job right there where you sort of have to be controlling in a way, because you have to have control
Yeah.
over the situations before it gets out of control. You can't be that loose parent who was just like, go ahead, you can have an Instagram, you can have a Snapchat, TikTok, all the social
Well-
media pages, Twitter, and then, you know what I'm saying, you come to find out all kinds of stuff has been happening because you was too loose. Like, you got to have some sort of control. Like, yes, you can get one social media page, and I need to have access to it, and I need to be able to see all your stuff that you're doing. And it's
Yeah.
like you're giving them freedom, but only so much at a time, because obviously the older they get, the more they're gonna change, and things are gonna change. They're gonna go from just doing little kiddie dances on TikTok to maybe doing the more advanced dances where you be like, oh my
Twerking.
God, the little
Doing the little
the
WAP
bougie,
dance.
the bougie song. Oh yeah, that too. Like, you're gonna be doing all that. Like, all right, now, you 16,
But
17.
I mean that boils down to that's different for every parent, because that depends on your household.
That's why I said you gotta have some control over it. Because if you just a loose parent, try to be best friends.
But some
be-
people, that's how they parent, and
That's no control.
what they. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, some parents don't want to have that control, or I don't like the word saying like control, like you're making your kids. I keep hitting this thing. Like, you're making your kids into like these robots, and you have to follow whatever. I think it's about
Well, we won't say control. We'll say monitor.
monitor, awareness. I think
Woke.
that's more than anything, is being aware of like what your kids are doing, because some stuff is just, it's kid stuff, they gonna do it like whatever. But I think you have to be aware as a parent, and you really have to know your kid and what what they're going to, not to say that what your kid is gonna do and what they're not gonna do, because sometimes they just do something crazy out of nowhere, and you're like, what?
Where did that come from?
But I think it has to do with being aware of what your kid is doing and what they have access to, and letting them know that that they have access to that stuff, and that you are monitoring it, and watching and stuff like that. But
so
I don't know, I feel like this turned into a whole
kind of
parenting conversation.
That's what I was gonna say.
Which
So
is
we
fine.
we talked about how we overcame you overcame being controlling in our marriage. What would you say? Like, how much would you say us as parents we're controlling over our kids? I mean, we kind of just talked about it, but like,
Yeah.
when you actually look at it, how controlling would you say that we are?
I would say that I'm pretty controlling. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty controlling. And I think it's because right now, like I said, the kids are they're like in this shift. So it's like I'm still trying to like learn their new behaviors and what they want to try to get away with, or what they don't. Like, to me, because I'm like, I've been on the kids like white on rice lately.
Yeah, I'm
Like, what are
I would
you
say I'm pretty
doing? What are
controlling,
you?
too.
And yeah, you are. But I think because I'm here with them more.
Oh yeah, you definitely
Like
got
last
one up.
week, we all got to this point where it was like, I'm tired of you. I know you're tired of me. Like, let's just. we're gonna do our work, we're gonna do our chores, and just like leave us alone. I could tell they were at that point, and I was at that point. That's when I called you, and I was like, are you gonna drive up today? Because you know, me and the kids are tired of each other at this point. I'm on the kids right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm still trying to figure them out.
Your controlling and mine is definitely different because you just like.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have no filter. I just be telling them like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Not at all. That's not gonna happen. Like, why would you even do that? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, you're being ridiculous right now.
Yeah.
But and when I do it, I'm still kind of being controlling based on how they were at that age. Like, not thinking like, okay, you're maturing and you're starting to do more stuff. I'm like, no, you're still 9 years old. Like, no, you're still 12. You're gonna do. Like, that's how I look at it. Like, I don't really be thinking like, you know, they're growing up. So I just be like, no, like if it ain't something that I want them to do, like go shoot the basketball or, you know, go do that. Like if it's not that, it's like, you know, they can be outside doing flips. And I'm like, why are you doing flips? Like Denzel's flipping in the living room. Daddy, look. I'm like, why? You're going to hurt your neck. Why are you doing flips? What are you doing flips? Like, that's how bad it is for me. Like, he's a boy. He's trying to learn how to do flips. Why can't I just let him do flips?
You're like, you was never flipping before, so why are you flipping
like,
all of a
when you was 4 years old, you wasn't flipping. Like, now all of a sudden you want to do backflips? Not thinking like, you know, when you get older, you might think you a ninja, and now all of a sudden, you know, he trying to do like them real ninja flips. So like off one foot, he kicking one foot, and I'm like, oh my god, like and Damari too, doing b-boy dances, spinning on his head and all this. I'm like, man, stop doing that. But I mean, that's just, you learn new things and you try it out. But yeah, that's like my controlling. It just be like, you doing something I ain't ever seen you do before.
So stop it.
You need to stop. Like, cut it out right now. But we do gotta kind of take a step back and let them move forward.
Yeah. And I was thinking the other day, like, I feel like these next couple years we're going to be in that spot where the kids like be thinking in their head. I don't think our kids would ever say it because they not crazy, but they gonna be thinking in their head like, oh, I can't stand her. Like, I feel like that's the stage that we're about to get to.
I think it.
I feel like we're getting to that because I just notice a little bit like in their expressions when I tell them something, like they don't smack their teeth, they don't like do that heavy breathing stuff, but I can just start to tell, especially in Davion, she just will look a little bit different. She won't roll her eyes, like nothing like that, but I can tell in her thoughts she'd be like going off on me. I'm like, oh God, here we go.
I don't think they bold enough to think that about me.
See, this is your problem. You can't control their thoughts.
Yes, I can. I will speak it out. See, that's the thing. When you think that they think that, you just be like, they probably thinking that. I'll be like, you better not even be thinking that I'm getting on your nerves. I wish you would think that.
You can't do that.
That's what I would do, though. You wouldn't, but I would. Like, I don't even want you to think that.
I wouldn't. See, and everybody, this is a testament right here. Everybody thinks that I'm harder on the kids. You are actually harder on the kids. Because like you said, I will, like, yes, I'll yell at them and, you know, all that stuff. But afterwards, I'll have a conversation with them and I'll explain to them and we'll go back and forth about it. Deontay would just shut it all the way down and be like, nope, this is what it is. You better not do it again. And then he's moving on. Like, he's not, you know, right?
Yeah.
You just
not babying them afterwards.
It's not about babying them. It's about giving them the understanding so that they won't do it again. Or even if they might do it again, but you can bring them back to this conversation. Okay, remember last time? That's how they're going to learn.
Or they can learn the hard way, the way that I do it. You're like, what did I tell you last time? Didn't I tell you don't do it? They remember that.
Okay, well.
With that being said, I'm Deontay.
And I'm Maymuna. And we still do.